Good afternoon, everyone. For our overview in theater, my partner, Miss Althea Bueno, and I, Evie Marian Obersaro, will be tackling about theater as an art, a socializing activity, and a way of learning. Without further ado, let us start with theater as an art. Theater is a collaborative art form, which means that many people work together. It combines words, voice, movement, and visual elements to express meaning. It is not limited to stage plays. It also includes film, television, and other digital media that we watch every day. As an art form, theater allows creative expressions. Actors, directors, and playwrights work together to create performances that can be entertaining, can be inspiring, or be challenging to the audiences, to our audiences. And next, let's proceed to the importance and the purpose of theater as an art. First, we have theater helps develop media literacy. Theater helps us understand how stories are created and how the messages or the message influences us. Theater teaches us to think critically about what we watch instead of just passively watching or passively consuming what we watch. Like when you watch a movie, you're not just being entertained, you're also being influenced by the themes, characters, and emotions that you see and feel in the movie. Like, for example, if you're watching a movie or a film about poverty, it will, of course, make you feel more aware and empathetic towards that certain issue and the poverty issues in the movie, but not just in the movie, but also your surroundings. Next importance is that theater plays a big role in people's everyday lives. Theater, it doesn't just entertain us, it can actually change how people think and act. For example, if the theater or like the show or the movie or the film that you are watching, for example, it promotes like kindness, diba? It can inspire people to act like that in real life. Now let us proceed to the purpose. So the purpose of theater as an art are that it explores human experiences and relationships as well as express ideas through creative storytelling. Theater shows what it means to be human. It focuses on real emotions and situations that, of course, people go through. Like, the most common one is love, and then heartbreak, and then, let's say, for example, like ambitions or fear. Those are like the common themes. But, like, to be specific, about love, okay, let's go to typical love story where a love story or a romantic story, it's the same. Like it shows how people deal with their relationships and personal struggles in that relationship. Another purpose of theater is that it expresses ideas creatively. It is not just what is said, but how it is shown. So, theater uses acting, lighting, music, and movement to communicate messages in artistic ways. Like a theater play, um, when there is a sad scene, the music goes like into slow music and then the lighting's dim and then you can really feel the characters' emotions. That is the purpose of theater as an art. With everything that I have said, it concludes why theater is considered a powerful and meaningful form of art. Now let us move on to theater as a socializing activity. Theater as a socializing activity, it helps students develop confidence. It promotes teamwork and cooperation and encourages discipline and responsibility. And of course, it will build a sense of belongingness to every student or every person that is in theater, because of course it's a socializing activity, because theater helps students become more confident when interacting with others. And for teamwork and cooperation, the performers depend on each other, which builds trust. And then trust is teamwork, and then if there is teamwork, there is cooperation. Now, for the discipline and responsibility, each person in that theater has a specific role. So everyone must be responsible and committed and, of course, disciplined. With all that has been said, theater creates a feeling of being part of a group, therefore, having a sense of belonging. Now, that's all for my part in theater as an art and a socializing activity. My partner, Miss Althea Bueno, will be discussing the rest of theater as a socializing activity as well as a way of learning. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening and watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.
Good day, everyone. I am Althea Bueno, and today I will be talking about how theater is not just for acting, but also helps us socialize and learn. So let's start with theater as a socializing activity. Theater helps people connect with others. It allows students to share ideas and feelings. It builds understanding of different perspectives. So when we say theater is social, it means people don't work alone here. They interact, perform, and collaborate with others. Also, it is a good way for students to express what they feel and share ideas. Understanding others. Students learn to see different points of view. It develops empathy and sensitivity. Helps improve communication skills. One important rule theater develop is empathy. For example, when you play a role, you try to understand that character's feelings. So you begin to understand other people better, not just yourself. Next, different forms of theater. We have classical, folk, and modern. Theater is not just one type. It can be classical like Shakespeare, folk like puppetry, and modern like movies and cartoon. Because of this, students get exposed to different cultures and ways of thinking. Next, theater as a way of learning. Theater is a part of language and arts education. It helps develop communication skills. Learning happens through active participation. Now, in terms of learning, theater is very effective because it is active. You don't just listen, you actually do something like speaking or acting. So learning here becomes more meaningful. Next, learning activities. We have role playing, script writing, and improvisation. For example, students can role play, create scripts, or do improvisation. These activities help them understand lessons better because they experience them, not just memorize them. Lastly, are the skills developed. We have speaking and listening skills, creativity and imagination, confidence, and critical thinking. Because of these activities, students improve in many areas like speaking, thinking, being creative, and becoming more confident when expressing themselves. So, overall, theater helps people connect with others, and at the same time, it makes learning engaging and effective. That's why it's very important in education. That's all. Thank you for listening.